All right, welcome to another edition of Trader Guru. A lot of people, in my opinion, should not be buying Bitcoin simply because altcoins give you better returns. So in this edition, I'm going to answer a very important question. What are the best altcoins that intelligent people are buying in order to maximize their return? Let's get started. All right, so how do you get rich in altcoins? This is a very important question because we're at a very critical point. We're in the bear market, as we know, and we're actually heading down to the bottom, or if the bottom hasn't hit yet, we're very close to the bottom. In fact, why don't we start today just by looking at Bitcoin and what is going on. Let's change that here. We're going to look at Bitcoin very quickly to look at what's going on, and then we'll get into the altcoins. And we're going to cover some very important things, okay? Like what are the best altcoins to buy? And that's what this whole session is today that I've got prepared for you. Altcoins to buy now. And so it's very important because everybody wants to make money in crypto, but not everybody knows how to do that because there's so many altcoins out there, you know, thousands of them. And, you know, I think a lot of people just don't know what are the best altcoins to buy. And that's what we're going to cover today. So let's jump into it and talk about first about what's going on with Bitcoin in case you're not aware. Bitcoin has been pumping just a little here, but let's take a look at that and just, I'm going to share my screen. So you can see right here, Bitcoin has been pumping and nothing has really changed really since, you know, the previous day because all we did is we went down a little bit and went back and we're at a critical point though of resistance. And I've covered that yesterday. Where, you know, there's this resistant line. If you draw it out like this, hold on here, right here, and you draw it like this, there's kind of this resistant line. You can see that we're now close. We tested it again. We did not break through. So, but I got to tell you something. Nothing really matters right now. Okay. And the reason I say that is because Bitcoin may break through tomorrow, but at the end of the day, everything is going to depend on what the markets are going to do Monday, and we're going to have to wait until then. So I wouldn't worry about the price action on weekends like now, because everybody's going to wait to make a big move until the markets open on Monday. Are they going to be positive or negative? That's the main thing we need to look at. So that's very important that you think about that when you're trading crypto. So anyway, wanted to mention just Bitcoin very quickly before I jump into the next thing. But let me share today is a very important day about altcoins. Okay, so altcoins to buy. What are the best altcoins to buy? And one of the things that if you're not going to buy Bitcoin, right? Because the reason you may not want to buy Bitcoin is Bitcoin gives you less return. That's just a fact. In fact, I have this image here that I created to share with you the ROI. And if you look at it on the here rather, okay, it shows you kind of all the altcoins that basically give you better return than Bitcoin. And, you know, you can make a lot more. And that's just a point, right? So let's jump into, first of all, you need to understand blockchains. And one of the first things I look at is that I want to buy the chains. And the main chains are Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Solana, XRP, Cardano, ADA, if you want to call it. And so one of the first things that I'm going to tell you, the secret to making money, is that there's different layers of blockchain. Okay, like for example, we have a layer 1 blockchain, which that's the chains, XRP, BNB, Ethereum, all those chains. So obviously, if you buy the chains in altcoins, you're always going to make more money than buying Bitcoin. A lot of people just focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but other chains are there. So that's layer 1. And then today, we're going to talk about the ecosystem that are in those chains. And you need to understand that because the layer 2 can give you a lot more returns than layer 1. So let's talk about that and share with you what are the layer 2s and how does that all work to make money in crypto. Let's go and first understand that every chains, they have an ecosystem. So what that means, if you look at each chain, like here we have Ethereum, we can see that there's a whole bunch of tokens that are built under Ethereum. What is the USD coin or other kind of coins that are built around the Ethereum chain. So ETH is one of the most popular chains, obviously. So that's why a lot of people invest in Ethereum and the layer 2 tokens. So that's the ecosystem around Ethereum. Now we have other chains as well. So we have the BNB chain, right? And there's a lot of tokens around there. By the way, we will explain to you what are the advantages of each chain and why you should know that, because some chains will produce more return, and we'll explain that, and then we're going to explain to you what tokens to buy within those chains. And then we have Polygon, all right, and they have an ecosystem, of course. And then we have Solana, and there's an ecosystem under there. And you can see the ecosystem would be like wallets, tools, DeFi, applications, infrastructure exchanges. So obviously we'll be talking more about DeFi and how to make money there. And yeah, then we have XRP, which we'll talk about. This is more for the finance area. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then we have Cardano, and that is also very good. So those are the main chains. But as you look at his ecosystem, I don't know about you, but I feel a little bit overwhelmed because there's some of these chains have literally tens of thousands of tokens. Like BNB chain has probably, I don't know how many tokens, but tens of thousands. So many tokens, right? So many choices. Which altcoin should I buy? Which one's going to give me the better return? Which ones carries the least risk and the maximum return, right? Did you ever feel that way, Austin, when you were looking at, basically all the altcoins in the beginning and think to yourself, man, there's so many altcoins. Which one should I buy? Did you ever feel that way?
Absolutely. And it's not even just that. It's there's so many. It doesn't matter. You could buy hundreds of them and you might still miss the boat. You might not get the right one, or you don't know if this will be the one, or if this one's going to 2x next week, this one will 3x next week. Like you mentioned, there's thousands of coins out there. So it gets very overwhelming very quickly.
So today we're going to tell you, like, when you're looking at all those tokens, which one should you pick? By the way, if you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. This helps us to bring this to more people. Really appreciate it. And leave a comment. What is your favorite altcoin? Put a comment if you want to share that. I'll actually post your comment if you post it while we're live. But let's go back to our presentation, right? Because if you feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. And it's kind of like picking a needle in a haystack, isn't it? It's like, which one is going to give you the most return, isn't it? So that's why it's very important that you have a strategy based on proven principles and a good thesis for picking the best altcoins. So that's what we're going to share with you today. But before you can do that, okay, the first thing that you need to do is you actually need to understand what are the advantages of every chain. So I'm going to quickly cover that. You probably should, look at a little bit into that so more deeply. But the ETH chain, one of the main advantages is that it's the most decentralized chain. It's also the most popular. It's the one, like when you ask, the beginner investor, which token should you buy? Everybody says Bitcoin and ETH. And Ethereum is definitely a good chain. So I definitely recommend it. Okay, so ETH has been pumping lately. You can see that ETH has been doing well. Then we have the BNB chain. That one is primarily around decentralized finance. In fact, our own tokens like MetaGold and LogPay has been in the BNB chain. So there's also very low fees on BNB chain. I don't know how many of you use Ethereum and you paid massive fees. If you bought an NFT or you bought some token that was just launching, sometimes ETH fees are absolutely killing us, So one of the advantages of BNB is that they have much, much lower fees. So I prefer BNB chain for sure. The chain I use personally the most is the BNB chain. How about you? Leave a comment. What is the chain that you personally use the most? Because I like to buy altcoins that I actually use. So for me, I use ETH chain, but the one that I use the most is BNB. Let's talk about Matic chain. Okay, so yeah, ETH fees are a bummer, guy says. I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely awful, right? I've paid such high fees on the ETH chain. So Matic chain is also they help to lower the costs on the Ethereum chain. So they also have faster transaction speeds. So Matic has definitely cheaper fees, and I really like it as far as the fees go, right? XRP is more for financial institutions. Yeah, Simon says BNB all the way, right? I agree. So, but XRP should not take that out because they do a lot of the banking stuff, for the financial institutions who or want to implement blockchain into the banking, and that's happening. And they're going to pump at some point. If they can ever win the lawsuit that they have, I think it's going to totally pump. Then we have Solana. Solana itself claims to be the fastest blockchain. Right. And then we have ADA, which is decentralized with lower fees. That's basically what they've done. I'm not a big fan of Solana. I don't know, whatever. Put a comment, whatever is your favorite one. But I still buy ADA if I think I can make money. So we'll talk about that, right? But so, okay, now, one of the things that a strategy for buying altcoins is you should definitely be buying depending on, whether you're starting with 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 or a million. I trade personally with millions of dollars. So I definitely don't put all my money in Bitcoin. I would balance my portfolio with different chains. So I would be buying all those chains primarily in the order that I put. ETH, BNB first, then Matic, Solana, XRP. Yeah, they're all in there, right? But my favorite three are definitely Ethereum, BNB, and Matic chain. What about you, Austin? What's your favorite chain of them all?
My favorite chain by far is BNB chain, and then probably second would be ETH. ETH is growing on me. I mean, since the merge, I think Ethereum has had a little bit of a role in terms of reducing fees, reducing energy consumption. So they're definitely on their way, on the right track, I would say, and they're the most popular. So that's where you get all of those coins that are the most popular, right?
Yeah. Also, I would add one more thing. They're creating something called charting, and charting on the Ethereum chain has not been implemented. But what that will do, when they do that, you want to buy Ethereum as soon as that announcement. They have a date. Because I'll tell you, we saw the news for Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum doubled, right, in price. But it just may use less electricity, really. It's, for a lot of people, that doesn't matter to them. But charting, it's what it's called, charting, is going to be coming out on the Ethereum chain, and that's their next biggest development. And so when that comes out, here's the benefits of that, okay? That will lower the fees of Ethereum. And when they do that, when they get the fees massively low, I mean very low fees. Because right now, the fees of Ethereum have not changed in Ethereum 2.0. They need to have the charting set up. And once they do that, I believe Ethereum will do very, very well. So, yeah, so let's talk about... let's talk first about how a little bit the market works. So before I talk about my favorite altcoins, the ones that you can buy that's going to make you the most money, right? Because some altcoins can produce massive ROI for you. And my favorite is it's none of those that I've just mentioned. I will mention in a moment, but you might want to take a pen and paper, write some of those down. Okay, because it's very important, and really take action. There's nothing worse than learning valuable information and not taking action. How many of you agree with me? How many of you think absolutely, it's all about taking action and having intelligence behind investing? So chains are the most obvious ones. If you go to CoinMarketCap and you look at the market caps of all those tokens, you will see that the chains are always on top as far as market cap. But they are not, and I repeat, they are not the most high income producing altcoins you can buy. So today I'm going to cover some safe. So one of my first criteria for having a altcoin, is it safe? Okay, that's the first thing. So what I mean is there a great utility? Obviously, chains have great utility because they build contracts on them. So chains are a must. They will not go out of business. You know what I mean? They're not layer 3 shit coins, right? Like that. Some of them are going to go to absolutely zero and never bounce back. So chains are necessary because without chains, we do not have altcoins. So that's so obvious. They're safe. Chains are safe. Okay. And they have a higher return than Bitcoin. So why would you buy Bitcoin when you can buy chains? Well, it's depend on how much capital you have. Like I said, I trade with millions of dollars, so I buy some Bitcoin. It makes me feel safer. It's, that digital gold, right? Like it's a safe haven to put our money. But the truth is that when the timing is right, and the timing is very close to being right now, I definitely own already most of those chains that I mentioned. Chains give you higher return than Bitcoin. But we want to look at the critter. Is it safe, and does it give you a better return than Bitcoin or these chains? And can I achieve my goal? And is it necessary? Is it absolutely necessary? Does the blockchain really need that in order for the blockchain to exist? And this is where the magic begins, my friend. Because if you want to make money in altcoins, I'm going to show you something very, very secretive. And don't tell people about this, but this is a secret for you to make like money, okay? And what we're going to talk about is swaps. That's right. You heard me correctly. Swaps. Let me explain to you what I mean. So what do we mean by swap, Austin? So swap is, yeah, go on to explain.
Swaps are, I think the easiest way to put it is decentralized exchanges on blockchain. So for example, if you want to trade on a blockchain, you need to use a swap. There's no other way for you to get these tokens outside of centralized exchanges would be by using these swaps to trade your tokens for other tokens and then so on. And so basically they're necessary in order for the ecosystem to work as an ecosystem, to function.
Yeah, you can't have really a decentralized chain without a swap. So that fits our first criteria. Is it safe? And I'll tell you why it is safe. Because without a swap, you can't exchange tokens on that chain. Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you why a swap will be safer than, let's say, these other DeFi tokens on a layer 3 like level, which we haven't covered? Even though they're layer 3, they can give you more returns. We all saw Doge pump, right? We got went up to 25% today. And I made a previous video about that yesterday. You can go watch it if you want. But I'm telling you, I bought Doge and, you know, it's great and everything, but it has more risk. It's so volatile, right? And of course, all altcoins are like volatile, but some carry more risk than others, isn't it? Does that make sense? So, but here's the thing. Swaps will never go out of business. If chains don't go out of business, swaps don't go out of business. So if you purchase high quality chains, the next thing you should logically do is purchase the swaps. So let me explain to you what are the swaps you should be purchasing. Okay. And by the way, if you like this content, leave a comment, press like, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're not already subscribed, go and subscribe to the channel because we're going to show you how to make money in this crypto. We're giving all this for free. If you're enjoying this, you know, make sure to subscribe because a lot of you are coming to this channel. I saw you're not subscribed. So subscribe. You make yourself a huge favor for doing that. And then we're going to add value for you. Okay, so let's go back to our swaps. So we're talking about swaps. So I believe swaps can give you a higher return. I know, Austin, for you, your favorite one is Uniswap. So this is the first one. It's on the Ethereum chain. You can't, you know, for those of you who are, you know, buying tokens on the Ethereum chain, you can't buy those tokens unless you're using Uniswap. So why is this your favorite, Austin? I know you're always buying Uniswap. I mean, that when I ask you what token you buy Uniswap. So I buy it as well.
Right. Well, for starters, I think in terms of swaps, right, sometimes the market can get a little bit diluted with many swaps out there on one specific chain. But Uniswap holds almost 70% of the entire market share. So all of the people's exchanges are going, 70% of them are going through Uniswap. So
that's right.
For me, that's a huge plus. And you can see that in the amount of revenue that they generate through fees. And of course, being on the Ethereum chain, they generate more fees than other swaps. So, you know, they're a profitable business for sure. And I mean, I love them because they've made me thousands of dollars. So how can you hate something that's doing that for you?
And Simon say, well, I like SushiSwap. I actually made a lot of money with SushiSwap as well. But SushiSwap is a secondary swap. Like Austin said, 70% of all the swaps are made on Uniswap. SushiSwap is a secondary one. But I've made a lot of money with SushiSwap as well. So thanks for mentioning that, Simon. Yeah, so the reason that you want to buy Uniswap is because Uniswap pumps a lot more than other tokens, okay? So pumps a lot more than Bitcoin and also pumps a lot more than the Ethereum chain, okay? Very often, you can get a lot more X from Uniswap because it's a layer 2 token, okay? Layer 1 is the chain, layer 2 is the ecosystem, and Uniswap is the different one. Let's go back to what are the other ones. I'll tell you my favorite. So Austin's favorite is Uniswap. My favorite is Pancakeswap. Okay, Pancakeswap. So Pancakeswap is my favorite. And by the way, you will use the BNB chain. So when I ask you guys which one's your favorite chain, I saw some people write down BNB, and Austin likes BNB. So I like the BNB because I use Pancakeswap a lot. So that's one thing. So what I realized, like, I don't want to buy altcoins that I don't personally use unless I understand the value. Like XRP, right? Like, I don't use it, but I understand the value they're adding. So why I own XRP as well. But see, Pancakeswap is necessary. So I love Pancakeswap, and you're going to get more return from Pancakeswap. And you know what the great thing about Pancakeswap is their staking is phenomenal. You can get up right now over 65% APY staking on their platform. Okay, so did you stake some of the like tokens? I think you did, right?
I did, yeah. And it's funny, you told me to stake them, and I was a bit skeptical, because Uniswap's my guy. But I ended up putting like I think 1,000, maybe 2,000, nothing crazy, but at the bottom. And since then, not only have I been earning, but I've been earning through their staking. So, and it's too soon. By now I probably would have cashed out, but I can't. It's staked, and I know I'm going to earn a good return, so I'm happy about it.
Now let's talk about that. That's an important point, because a lot of people, I coach a group, which you can join. We only charge $50. We have the free and then we have the more advanced. You pay $50. I coach a bunch of people, and one of the patterns, I've been doing this for about 3 years now, and one of the patterns that I've noticed is that people sell way too quickly. Okay, and so they get emotional. Or, the price goes up. They made a lot of money and then they want to sell, and then the price keeps going up. So how many of you think, like, if you were going to go to Pancakeswap, right, and you were going to go, let's take a look at it. Let me just show you something very, very interesting. You want to see it? It's just going to help you to see what I'm saying here, okay? Take a look at this. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to change this to TraderView. Hold on. TraderView app. There we go. Now I'm going to open TraderView, and I'm going to show you Cake, okay? This is almost the same for every token. And we're going to go to like 1 day so we can see the bigger picture here, all right? Because if you had bought, now I started buying right at the bottom. Now I DCA it. I don't know what a bottom is. No one knows perfectly, but I was lucky enough. So if you went from there, right, to the top, it's a 1,662% gain. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you're gonna make a lot more money. By the way, in the next bull market, do you think that Cake will go higher than its previous all-time high? Of course, it always does, isn't it? Does that make sense, guys? So the reason this is important is because not only will you make so much money from all the X, but by staking it, you can lock yourself in. So I don't recommend you do that with your entire portfolio, but I think some percent of your portfolio, because people are emotional, they sell too quickly. How many of you agree with me? You think, yeah, Michael's right. It's better to lock yourself in, right, by doing staking for some of my funds so I don't sell too quick and miss the big pump. How many of you agree with staking? Not only are you getting massive amount of staking rewards, 65%, right? But how many of you agree that staking is one of the best thing you can do at the bottom? If you buy the bottom and you stake in for 1 year and then you stake again for another year, wait for 2025 to arrive. By that time, you'll be able to get all the gains past the all-time high, and you've made the staking rewards all those years as well. How many of you agree with that? I think that's such a brilliant way to make money, okay? Because most people sell way too quickly. All right, the next one is Quickswap, and this is used for Polygon. So Matic is very great. I would listen, okay? I made a lot of money with Matic, okay? Matic is one of my favorite token by far, because with Matic, you see, what happens is that it has a lot of volatility. So if you buy it at the bottom on support, okay, you can get massive amount of pump. And so what happens is that it pumps very fast. But what happens is after you get the pump, the layer 2 start to pump. So I need to explain this to you. Think of this waterfall, okay? Money flows from the government. They print money. Whenever the government prints money, that falls into the markets or the DXY. People are holding cash right now. That money's got to go, it's got to find a home, right? It's got to go somewhere. So it usually flows into stocks, right? Agreed? Once it goes into stocks, from there, what happens? Well, then money flows into crypto. So that's why whatever the DXY is going down, crypto starts to pump because that means money is flowing into these assets. Now, the truth is that crypto is a risk-on asset. But what happens is they start to flow into Bitcoin and layer 1 first. That's why right now we are seeing the layer 1s pump like Ethereum. We are seeing, you know, a pump on those kind of like tokens, unless you talk about Doge because of the, you know, Elon Musk bought Twitter. But other than that, it's mostly Ethereum that's pumping right now. It's Bitcoin and it's the layer 1. But later, after that happens, money starts to flow because people get bored. You know, they're not getting enough pump anymore. So they start going into the layer 2. So layer 2 start to pump. Okay, so as we're going in a bull market here, what happens is the layer 2s are going to pump. But what happens after that? Layer 3s start to pump. Now, we haven't talked about the layer 3s, but we'll talk about that tomorrow, actually. So make sure to stick around and take a look at that tomorrow. But we'll come back to that. So Quickswap is one of those tokens. After you bought Matic, you rode Matic up. What should you do next? You buy Quickswap because it's a necessary. You can't trade with Matic without Quickswap. So Quickswap would be the next swap in order for you to make money, okay? So are you with me? Is that making sense to you? So just to summarize, okay, the safest, because remember that was the criteria, and easiest way to make more ROI than Bitcoin is to buy the following altcoins. Does this make sense? Number 1, okay, you're going to, I want to take this and move it here out of the way. I'm going to shrink this down. Hold on a second, because I think you can't see everything. I'm going to put this on the top. Okay, the quickest way and the safest way to make more ROI is to buy the chains first, okay? Because these are layer 1s. ETH, BNB, Matic, XRP, Solana, ADA. Every altcoins depends on the chains to exist, okay? So that makes sense, right? You want to make more, you want to be safe, buy the chains. But you should not stop there. You should also buy the swaps. So for now, we're recommending 3 swaps to you. Uniswap, Pancake, Quick. Every chain needs a swap to exist. Does that make sense? You cannot have a chain without a swap. So this is very important. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about layer 3s. How to turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. I mean, this is a long shot. Not everybody's going to do that. But is it possible? It is. But you can't do it on a layer 1 or layer 2. You got to go to layer 3. So we're going to talk about what ecosystem token should you buy to turn $1,000 into 1,000,000. So if you want to check that out, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can see and learn how to turn $1,000. We're going to cover that tomorrow. Turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. All right. So, hey guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And yeah, press like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.